Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sox On Tap. I'm your boy Buzz. I'm joined by my dude Tony, and we're here to talk about a series. Yeah, that's right. I said series. We usually do all post games, but we've had a lot of hell going on at the day jobs lately, so you're just going to have to accept that for right now and move on. We're here for a series recap, so let's just dig it out. Let's talk about this. But before we do, be sure to go to ontapsportsnet.com for all the Chicago sports literature and podcasting needs. Following us on Twitter at Sox On Tap and On Tap Sportsnet. Following Tony at Tony On Tap and me at Buzz On Tap. Anywhere you can listen to podcasts, you can listen to us. 5-star rating and review because that's cool and tough. If you're on Facebook or Twitter, please go to the YouTube On Tap Sportsnet YouTube channel. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. So it'd be pretty cool if you could subscribe over there. It'd be great. We're presented by Sports Illustrated. Tony, Sox drop 2 of 3 in the series to the Texas Rangers. Arguably almost dropped all 3 if game 2 didn't have that miraculous call at the end. But, our White Sox are just kind of existing in this space right now, not really digging themselves out, not really putting themselves back in. They now sit, once again, damn, does that suck, 12 games under 500. How are you, bud?
I've been better, man. I've been better. It's great to be back on with you. I see you're cracking them. You've got your Miller Lite going. It's a little late for you, though, isn't it?
My God, I was on mute there. It is a little too late for me, but I'm with you, dude. We're chilling out. We're going to talk some White Sox baseball. We have the NBA draft tomorrow. Shameless plug here. Follow Bulls on Tap tomorrow for any draft-related stuff pertaining to the Chicago Bulls that you might want to.
Your other favorite Jerry Reinsdorf run organization.
Oh, yeah, because I'm a glutton for punishment. I mean, I'm still an idiot. I mean, nothing has changed. These teams just both make me upset,
It's just your classic Buzz. But yes, follow them. You're going to be doing a show tomorrow over on the Bulls on Tap side of things. White Sox off day, so perfect. If you want to listen to more Buzz, go follow Bulls on Tap, and him and Keith will be doing a nice little recap of the draft, I believe, over there. Buzz, this series was, I mean, just more of the same.
It was blah.
It was blah. That's a perfect way to describe it. It was very blah. Monday's ball game started by Tanner Banks, bullpen day. Just probably the most blah game of them all. You mentioned yesterday's ball game. I wanted to actually spend a little bit more time talking about that because we do get one win to talk about. We get one win to talk about here. That seems to be what the White Sox give us with a lot of these series. Sales in the house. Team is treading water. Yeah, that's a good way to say that. What did you think of yesterday's ball game and in specifics, the home plate play with Elvis Andrus sliding into home? It goes to video review, and then it's ruled that Jonah Heim was blocking the plate. The White Sox end up victors by a final score of 7-6. Buzz, what were your thoughts here?
It was a wild ending to that game. That was the Elvis Andrus game, though. That was really cool. Like, in the grand scheme of things, what a game was played by him, and the White Sox fan base was behind it yesterday. And that was, again, in the only win of the series. But still, that game was just wild. As far as, like, the blocking the plate thing, they were using – I don't know if you saw this, so I know you're kind of a Sports Center, just sports recap show junkie like I am. I don't know if you caught Sports Center, but they were – I can't remember exactly who it was, but they were comparing it to Buster Posey, and they even did it a little bit on the broadcast tonight. I thought that was just apples and oranges. Like, I'm going to take the win, but if you remember in 2011 when Posey got run over, he got mad and hit sticked on steroids. He got hit. There was nothing like that. I felt like it was a terrible call, but I don't know how you felt, but I'm going to take the win. Like, I'm
definitely going to take the win here.
I'm confused by what happened. That's all. That was one of those head scratchers where you're like, is a catch? You know what I'm saying? Like in the NFL, like what was that? Like, are we going to see more of that in the future? If I
just didn't understand, Buzz, how that came out in the video replay and wasn't made the call on the field. And I didn't even know that something like that could be reviewable. obviously they went out to review the safe call, but I didn't know that could be overturned in such a manner. The runner is out, but he's safe because the catcher was blocking the plate. I thought Elvis Andrus had a path. I don't know about you.
I thought he had path. I thought that he had plenty. When he slid in, his head didn't even make contact with a kneecap. I mean, nothing. I mean,
nothing. There was nothing there. AJ Przinsky had some words for this on Foul Territory TV as well. I don't know if you caught his reaction. They did play it in the pregame show with Chuck and Ozzy today. But, I mean, I've always been more of a fan of the, you just truck the catcher type of baseball. I like the old school rules here. I understand we're trying to keep players safe, and, they're doing that in the NFL. The kickoffs aren't going to be a thing at some point. But I don't know. I thought he looked pretty close to safe in real time on the original play there. Yeah, it was definitely debatable. I thought it was a good challenge. I'm just happy the White Sox were able to walk away with one, because we would be sitting here, man, talking about a sweep. And potentially. I mean, the game was tied, but we all know how some of these things shake out for the Chicago White Sox if you're still listening.
The Sox fell apart.
Yeah.
And this is a weird thing about this challenge that we're talking about, Tony. I want to read this to you. So there was never any contact with the catcher. It was a sweep tag. I don't get it. I really don't. Again, I'm shocked. Jonah did a great job there. The throw took him to the left a little bit. Sweep tag. I'm lost on this one. That's a tough one to take. So that comes from Bruce Bochy. White Sox manager Pedro Grifol said he hadn't seen a replay at the time, but this is what he said. All I can say is we challenged both. We challenged the play at the plate and blocking the plate. Since when do you get the challenge for two things in one? There needs to be some concise shit.
Isn't that like double jeopardy there?
Like kind of. I mean, again, like that. It worked out this time for us, but if the Sox are competitive in 2037, all right, and the challenges are still around, you know what I mean? Like, we'd be pissed off if we were on the other end of this. And I just want to have a good understanding of what you can challenge, when you can and when you can't. I didn't realize you're going to go and do multiple things here. It's almost like the NBA. Like, are you challenging over and back violation? Or are you challenging a hand check foul at the top? Like, or in football, are you challenging that he stepped out of bounds? He didn't get the toe tap down? Or are you challenging, did he maintain possession? Like, where are we? Like, and that's what I don't want to happen in baseball, is some of these cloudy challenges that at least me, I'm sure there's people that probably understand it better than me, but that people have a better understanding of, because I didn't realize you could literally go into the challenge for a block to say he was safe, but then the refs come out and say something entirely different that changed the whole makeup of the game within the span of 2 minutes.
Yeah, and I think it's time to mic up the umpires in the stadium as well and let people know what's going on. It gets confusing, especially if you're a spectator in the stadium, and it's also difficult, as a TV consumer as well here, because I thought it was just a standard out safe call at the plate there. So, we'll take the win. We'll take the win. We got one. Yesterday, Graveman did come in after that and shut things down. He looked good in his appearance here as well, Buzz. But more importantly, I wanted to talk about just the starting pitching right now with the Chicago White Sox. You saw on Monday, obviously we're missing Mike Clevenger. Justy Schultens was used in the series over the weekend. They had to go to a bullpen day. Cease goes out there, gives you 6 innings. Once again, Steve says this all the time on the show, Buzz. You want more length out of these guys. And then today, Michael Kopech, I don't exactly know what was going on here, but he's only able to make it through, I believe, 4 innings.
He only went 4, Tony.
Yeah, 86 pitches, and he was out. The way that Steve Stone was talking on the broadcast made me believe there might be some injury concern. Haven't seen anything yet from Pedro Grifol on this. I'm sure there's probably some comments coming out on Twitter, but yeah, 4 innings, gives up 4 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned, walks 3. He does fan 5 He gives up a long ball. Kopech has had, I think, a pretty decent season, but he's prone to some starts like this where it's just not what you need in terms of length from your starting pitcher. And then, I we'll get to him in just a little bit, the newest addition to this White Sox bullpen. But Jimmy Lambert comes back, and man, was he fucking brutal tonight. He's just reinstated from the aisle after an ankle injury had kept him out for a while. But man, he just got tuned up there in the fifth inning. Just
he had no location
stuff
on his pitches. Yeah, he had no locations on his pitches, Tone. He could not locate anything. That's for Lambert. As far as Kopech goes, I don't know. I've had conversations with a lot of different people on it. I think that Michael Kopech is starting pitcher material. I think that you do too. I just think that I don't know how to crisp him up any more than he already is. I mean, this guy's had a very, very long leash within the White Sox organization. I like Kopech. I just for us to be any good, he has to be way more consistent than he is out there. And this isn't his fault at all today. I mean, the offense has got to wake the fuck up too. But with whatever that we really have outside of Jake Berger and then Andrew Vaughn on his little heater. But Kopech reminds me of a guy that someone like my old man and maybe probably your old man would deeter to say like, oh yeah, he's got it. Sometimes he doesn't have it. Other times he should be a spot starter and come out the bullpen most of the time. That's what they would probably say about him. I don't know how right that is. I don't agree with it, but he just has these clunker performances that just he doesn't get you long enough. And unfortunately, the White Sox need starting pitching that gets you through long enough because that bullpen is a sketch. It could be good, but then it could be bad. And we've seen the bad.
Yep, exactly. Tonight, Jimmy Lambert coming back in. And Lambert's had his ups and downs, but tonight was just sort of abysmal. And then the newest addition to the bullpen, Touki Toussaint. I don't know how we want to pronounce this on the show. I'm just giving it my best. Toussaint.
I don't know.
4 innings. He does walk 2, strikes out 4, but pretty impressive stuff from just a new name in the White Sox bullpen. I'm sure for some reason it'll happen where his next performance, or maybe it's 2 down the road, he's going to, fold into the White Sox mold, and it won't be this crisp, but I was impressed with this. This is a guy who we just picked up and comes in, steps up, and makes an immediate impact here. Probably saves a couple arms. I know the White Sox are heading into an off day, but nice to not have to go to anybody else for the remainder of this game. Sox do drop it by a final of 6-3, but I was impressed with Mr. Toussaint here. What about you, Mr. Buzz?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the kid comes in, he gets a little bit of praise today here just because he was able to go 4 innings and, not let any hits, not let up any runs. I mean, it's kind of rare for a White Sox pitcher here.
For a reliever, nonetheless.
Right.
Yeah.
For a reliever. So I'll definitely take it. Hopefully it's something that he can keep up, and, we need all the help we can get in that department right now. So if it can keep up, that'd be great. I don't know if it will or not, but I'm very impressed by his first performance coming in here against a very good Texas Rangers team.
It is. The Rangers are 46-28. So they are definitely much better than the Chicago White Sox that we've been subject to watching. Buzz, any other thoughts that you have from this series against the Rangers?
I really Andrew Vaughn put the bat on the ball a bit, and I like that. So I'm gonna take that out of Andrew Vaughn. He hit another home run tonight. That's his 11th, I believe. Let me just check that. I'm pretty sure I'm right. Yeah, it's his 11th on the year. So I like what I've seen out of Andrew Vaughn. I want to give him some flowers. Other than that, I mean, it's just Jake Berger seemed to kind of cool off a little bit. I don't know, man. This team is so hard to read and so hard to tell like what it is. I being this far under 500, and even though you're not super far out from first place because the AL Central is such dog shit, I just wish that these guys could click at the same time so they can go on a legitimate fucking run. It's not just one guy here. It's not just one guy there. Like, that's what I'm hoping to see in this Red Sox series, Tone, is some of these guys coming off an off day and clicking on the same fucking time so we can pick up and string together some W's for a very attainable, winnable division. I don't. Other than that, I don't have much left on this series. I mean, they played like shit and they got lucky on in game 2. They got lucky in game 2 after throwing that game away. They got lucky on that weird call that was made. Again, we said we'd take it, but it's the truth. They got lucky. So, I giving Vaughn some flowers and then going into this Boston series, just for the love of God, please have a couple guys' bats going at the same time. Just, they need it.
Well said. Yep. Off day tomorrow. And then it's into Boston. Boston's coming in. You're going to get Lucas Giolito on the mound for Friday's ball game. We've got who do we got for Saturday? I believe that's probably going to be Lance Lynn. Yep, that's going to be Lance. And then it'll be interesting to see who we go with on Sunday. Could be another bullpen day for your Chicago White Sox, but I mean, man, just battered again with some injuries. Yasmani Grandal scratched from the lineup today. Tim Anderson, he did have a pinch hit appearance over this past series, and that was in yesterday's ball game, was out of the lineup again today.
They're speculating an IL stint for him again, Tone. I'm seeing that.
Are they?
I'm seeing it in places on Twitter.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens here. I know that there's a loud segment of White Sox fans who are sort of upset that Mr. Popeye, Jose Rodriguez, has not seen a start yet here. It doesn't sound like the White Sox want to start him.
Got his first action, though, on the base pass, though. You see that?
Yes.
He was excited, man. He smiling ear to ear. I mean, that was kind of cool to see a dream. That was my favorite part of the series.
Yes.
He lit up like a Christmas tree, man. He was so stoked to get out there. So that was my favorite part of the series.
There you go. This Boston series, man, just looking at this, we desperately need a series win. Minnesota does walk them off, I believe, tonight. So, man, like you said, if they can gel it after an off day and rattle off 2 in a row here before it turns to bullpen day again, that would be pleasant to watch. But man, I just lose more and more faith as some of these series go by in any sort of run taking place. The trade rumors thing has gotten louder and louder. You had the Bob Nightingale article come out this past week that we haven't had a chance to talk about. Did you get a chance to read that one, Buzz?
Which one? He said, well, I don't know if I'm sure I read
several veterans on the team said that they would welcome a trade.
Yeah, of course. I mean, and I know that they were talking about on the radio, Lucas Giolito being moved, the Tim Anderson being moved, I mean, there's a lot of possibilities here for a lot of big shakeups to happen within the Chicago White Sox organization when the trade deadline comes around, and see what the Sox end up doing. They're 5.5 back right now, and it's also been speculated if they can get within striking distance that they'll stand pat. So, and try to be buyers.
I don't want to do the stand pat thing. I'd rather just buy at that point. I don't know.
Yeah, but you can't buy when you can't sell anything. I mean, what the fuck?
I know. They are more mired in mediocrity now, maybe like a lower level of mediocrity than when we started this whole entire fucking process years ago. And I think that's what really annoys me.
Body, doesn't it?
It does. It absolutely does. And man, just win this fucking series against Boston. And
Boston's 39-36. They're 12 out, and
we've been dog shit against the AL East.
Yeah,
we really have. We've sucked against them. I think Giolito gives you your best chance to win here against Bello there on Friday. But then after that, things get a little sketch. And this is another pitcher, Buzz, that the White Sox have not seen before. So don't go make this guy look like an ace. He's 4-4. I know he's got a 3.49 ERA, but
you want to hear a fun fact about the AL East?
Just brutal. Go ahead.
They're the only division in baseball. They're the only division in baseball that has every team has a plus in run differential.
Yeah, that's nice.
So I didn't mean to make you sad.
Don't get the doors blown off. How about that?
How about don't suck?
Yeah.
How about that? Yeah, it'd be great. It'd be fantastic.
Don't suck on Friday. It's going to be a much needed off day, I think, for everybody tomorrow. I know you're going to be just knee deep in Bulls basketball stuff, but we've reached this point in the season now where I'm welcoming an off day. I feel like for one of the first times ever to just not have to.
Yeah, it's rare for you.
It is rare for me because I love watching the White Sox. I love doing this over and over again. But man, this has just been brutal. It's more lifeless baseball right now. It's more lifeless baseball, and I can't stand it. It's driving me up the wall.
I mean, well, think about it. I mean, just think about it objectively for a minute. Like, look, you have Pedro Grifol, rookie manager, who's trying to just keep his head above water. He's already had to be defended by Rick Hahn. Is like, this is not his fault. Rick Hahn is under complete fire. He's already made comments about possibly losing his job because he knows how bad the team is.
He makes comments about possibly losing his job all the time.
The fucking players don't want to be there. Don't want to be there. I mean, the Sox are a mess, Tone. They're a fucking mess. I mean, from top, it's not just gameplay; it's everything. So yeah, I don't blame you for welcoming an off day. You know, like you said, we started this in 2019. You were podcasting about it in what, 17, 18?
Yeah.
So was I over there at the Outcast with Juice, like, you know, about the rebuild and about all this awesome shit that was going to happen. 2020, 2023, dude. Here we are. It's fucking bad again.
It's 10:30 on a Wednesday night in June, the longest day of the year, first day of summer, and man, it's not the same. It's not what was promised to any of us.
No, we're supposed to be getting ready for a fucking parade.
Yeah, we were supposed to be getting ready for a parade. I mean, did we ever get to move into the house?
They didn't even buy fucking fireworks. Oh, the house that was being built?
The house that was being built.
Well, hang on. How many years was this 2019 ago?
4, if I can math correctly right now.
Okay, and then we were podcasting about a year before. I mean, the rebuild started before then. So it's 5. It takes 5 years to build a good house. So if we were on Steve Stone's pace, that house should be about done. We can move in soon. Okay. I mean, it's shit, but we can get in there. You know, like we'll be able to get in there. You know,
does it come with a warranty?
It's the White Sox. It's Jerry.
Nah, it doesn't come with a warranty then.
No,
Buzz, man, it's just abysmal to talk about some of these things. But you know, you brought up Rick Hahn defending Pedro Grifol. There was another report. I'm pretty sure it might have come from either Heyman or Nightingale on, you know, he might be a one and done manager. Yeah. And you know, I've seen some takes out there on the Twitterverse about, you know, how it's not his fault. There's also people who say it is his fault. The funny part to this whole entire thing is this was Rick Hahn's guy.
Oh, well,
this was the guy that was
forced. Second chance at his guy. It's a second chance at his guy.
Because what do you mean by it's a second chance at his guy?
Well,
who was his first guy?
Well, AJ Hinch, wasn't it?
Sure.
That was on the press release when they first
AJ Hinch. When you go back to this, AJ Hinch is a far better baseball manager with a better resume than Pedro Grifol was.
Well, right.
And there was also guys out there during the managerial search. I'm just tired of the PR spin that gets put on every single one of these things. It was Yohan Moncada is going to be a phenom, and then Yohan Moncada is not a fucking phenom. Then it was, you know, here's Eloy Jimenez, and this guy's going to hit 50 fucking homers, and he's going to be the best hitter in the middle of the order, and then that guy can't stay healthy. And then you had it for Lucas Giolito. This guy's going to be an ace, and it's been up and down, up and down, up and down every single year. It's Jekyll and Hyde shit. Then you've got, you know,
the next Mike Trout.
The next Mike Trout. I mean, that's a big one right now. The next Mike Trout. That was Luis Robert. And that's a guy who it's more Jekyll and Hyde. You can watch him go on a stretch where he is phenomenal. Just looks like one of the best baseball players out there, which is why you get a comp like that. You don't get it from nothing. And then you watch other stretches where the guy doesn't even know who the fucking bench coach is and is telling you to your face that he ran hard yesterday, so he was playing conservatively today. And from top to bottom, everything was marketed for you, the fan, to believe that these guys were going to put it together. And you see these little cracks in that foundation of whatever house it is that was being built.
Shitty one.
Yeah. Like, we just didn't mix the cement for this portion. We just threw it in there fucking shitty. And, every time it rains, it's going to fucking leak. And now you don't know if Luis Robert is playing hard or not. I still question if every single day we're playing hard or not. I question every single time Eloy Jimenez runs from home plate to first base if he's going to blow out his leg again or his hip or something, hit the bag wrong. Just every fly ball that gets hit into the outfield is a question mark. Every ground ball that goes to Tim Anderson is a question mark.
I definitely agree there.
Unbelievably frustrating.
I think that this team was far worse off and more broken than we realized heading into the 2023 season, and that's why I have a hard time putting in this on Grifol. I don't think any listen, dude. He's out here playing guys out of position, just like Tony La Russa was. He's out here with a worse squad.
It's the same fucking product, man. It's the same
a little bit. The injuries, have obviously, we had that 90, what was it? We won 91, 93 games in 2021. And then, obviously what happened last year. And then here we are now. But I don't think Grifol is like a godsend or a manager who's going to make a huge difference. I'll tell you this right now. He does not command the respect of veterans. And I'm sorry at this point. That's what I'm going to call Luis Robert, who's been around for a while, and that's what I'm going to call Tim Anderson, and that's what I'm going to call Eloy Jimenez. I just don't think that he stops them from being who they are, and I don't know what kind of manager can. I don't know what the dynamic is inside the clubhouse. All I know is that these guys show up and play when they want to. So if they're willing to give it 100%, that's what that's what it comes down to, the clicking, right? When we say, I wish these guys could click at the same time. Yeah, a lot of that has to do with luck. I'm not saying that. I'm sure every one of them would hit a bomb if they could up every time at the plate, but it's trying to find that extra gear and that extra drive to do so, to be better, to not have, what did you say, cracks in the foundation, to try to keep it even keel and plain and simple. And we just don't get that out of this team. And I don't know what's going to bring it out. I don't know if it's a complete facelift. We've, just like Jerry's other team, we have run the course with what you call the core here. And the longer you prolong the inevitable, the worse your fan base is going to be off.
So that's weird, man. You don't trust Rick Hahn to go put it back together. He makes comments about his job being, in jeopardy, but that's not really, actions speak louder than words here. So there's nothing's been done in that regard in a long time. And in fact, the last time it was done, it was a promotion up for Kenny Williams. We wait to see Rick Hahn's fate. When it comes to the manager, it's been the same thing, the same problems with this team since Ricky Renteria. It really has. It's been the same problems. It doesn't matter if you've got a Hall of Fame veteran manager, a rookie manager, a rebuild guy in there. It doesn't matter. It's going to be the same mentality because it's coming from the same mouths. It's coming from the same front office. It's coming from the same owner. Man, I don't know where you go from here. If you blow this up and you keep the same front office, does anyone who's a White Sox fan have an ounce of trust that the third time through is going to be any better than the first two?
You're more so batting for luck. That's what you're batting for there, Tone. You're more so batting for luck because you don't have any luck.
That's my question for you. Would you rather chance luck with basically like some pieces of this core, or do you go blow it up, full rebuild, and try for luck again with just a bunch of different other guys? Because there is talent on this team. We're not going to deny it. We just talked about how Luis Robert looks good in certain situations. But when you start to peel back these layers, I'd sit there and say, yeah, I'd wait for luck with Luis Robert and Eloy Jimenez over throwing that out there and trying to figure out who's going to come in here and step in and be those big bats in the middle of the order. But the injury history then starts to crop up. And I say, no, maybe I'd rather somebody just be fucking available.
The way you look at this right now is how I'm trying to look at this. The Sox farm system is so depleted and shit, okay, that the core that you have up there now, you have to either spend big in free agency, which this team, I mean, yes, they were 7th in payroll, great, but you're going to have to go get stars, not just fucking weird bullpen guys that equal a Manny
And
Machado
most of those
contract.
guys, Buzz, the sad part is most of those guys have been locked up for the next decade by their current clubs, which this team had the opportunity to do.
Right, and that's
they
what
had
I'm
the
saying.
opportunity to do a bunch of that stuff.
And that's what I'm saying here. So
yeah.
this is where it gets bad, right? So you're not able to go and grab these stars. You're in a bad spot right now. You have no farm system. And again, what do? Do you stay the core? Me as a fan personally, if we're going to suck, try to maximize the suck. Get rid of whatever you have to bring back in high potential guys and try to do it that way again, because that's what sometimes works in baseball. You're going to have to do it. Again, it's a mirror image to his other team. And I'll relate it to you because we've already done the cross promotion. Like, I'd rather sit there and watch developing young players on a Chicago Bulls team win 25 fucking games, okay, than watch a 3-star system of Nikola Vucevic, DeMar DeRozan, and Zach LaVine suck ass and miss the playoffs and go into a play-in. These guys, Luis Robert, Tim Anderson, Lucas Giolito, Dylan Cease, all these guys, there's value in those names. There's value there. Maybe not so much Tim as it was before, but I'm sure there's still value for Tim Anderson. Okay, the guy won 2 batting titles. Let's calm down. He didn't drain all of his value just yet. All right, people know he needs a change of scenery. That is something.
Did you pass that statement by NWI Steve before you said it?
I did not.
Okay, I'm just wondering.
I just did. I do what I do, but it comes down to committing to a decision and going with luck at this point. And obviously, with luck would come a high draft pick because you were shitty so much, and you get a draft pick. Then a lot of luck has to do with the draft, but a lot of the draft has to do with people who know what the fuck they're looking at. And I don't know if Rick Hahn does. So again, that luck really has to be up here for this squad because I think that they're punching from beneath already. So this is who they are. This is where we're at. They're not even dead in the water at 32 and 44,
which is wild.
They're wild. 5.5 back.
It's wild. And man, they could go win the division. I think we'd all be happy. I think we'd all be happy for a division title, but it's also going to come with it's probably going to be the most frustrating division title that anybody can get to. Because I don't know if they're going to get above 500.
I don't think they are. I think the division title is a fallacy. I don't think that it's something that's even attainable because anytime we get within somewhat of a reach, someone gets hurt. Team cannot stay healthy enough. Again, you're punching from beneath already.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go on a hell of a burning run and outplay the way that you have been playing and string together consistency. And that's something we haven't seen this team do at all. We've had.
Is this the most frustrating White Sox team? The 2023 White Sox. Have they already obtained the most frustrating team that you've watched?
I definitely think between this team and last year as frustrating, the frustration meter's tapped out. The frustration meter's tapped out again, especially when it comes down to health and underperforming. And we've been dealing with that after 2021 when we were talking DEFCON 5 shit for a little bit, because we were finally feeling good. 2022 and 2023 have been pretty disappointing years as a White Sox fan, at least to me. It has become now more of a chore to watch them than ever before because it just doesn't seem like they strive to be better. And as a fan, obviously I'm a fucking homer, so I'm always going to watch and keep up with them. But it just, every once in a while it's like, man, I'd probably rather watch like fucking a Gordon Ramsay show or something. Like, I don't want to watch this shit. They come out and they don't try. You go to work all day, you have a shit ass day, and then you want to come home and take in your favorite baseball team. And hey, man, they don't give a fuck either when they're at work. So it's what you're left with.
You just want some care. You want some care.
I want some care, and again, I don't know if we're going to get it from this squad, but I really don't care to see them stick around to find out, Tony. You're 32 and 44. I think we have a big enough sample size after Even the midway point in 2021 after the baseball that this team played all up until now. So
you're rooting for them to sell this thing big.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. And everybody, so many people get upset about that. And both spectrums of Jerry's teams, people get so irritated. Oh, don't you want to be somewhat competitive? Why would you sell off the best player? Sometimes you have to fucking do that, man, to do something else here. You got to try to recoup any sort of assets you possibly can, because right now this ain't working. We have a big enough sample size to show you it ain't gonna work. This is where you're at right now. So they need it. They want to change minds. Come out against Boston, okay? Come out against the Angels when you get them next after that, and start stringing together some fucking wins to make people believe in you. If you can't do that, then this is going to be more of the same, especially over here. I'm not gonna lie to anybody. His team sucks.
Right.
It's not good.
Yep. That's where we're at right now. I want them so badly to make you believe again, Buzz, because you were the perennial optimist on the show since inception.
I want them to win. I don't not want them to win. I want to be good. I want to see Luis Robert, Eloy Jimenez, Jake Berger a part of that. You know me. I love Jake Berger. I played Call of Duty with Jake Berger. That is cool shit. I want to see these guys, Tim Anderson, Giolito, Cease Kopech, all these guys that we were waiting for.
You didn't mention Yohan Moncada because I think you're 100% out. You're 100% out on that guy. I think a lot of people are right now.
Yeah,
one last little injury update on him that you got from Pedro Grifol was they don't know when he's going to be back.
Oh, that's cool.
You got from Daryl Van Schouwen from the Times over there had said it sounds like this might be a post All-Star break thing. And the funniest part to me was that nobody really batted an eyelash, because I think people would rather watch Jake Berger at this point than Yohan Moncada.
100%. Anybody who says that that's not true is a liar. 100%. Berger hits bombs. Berger fucking tries. He takes it serious. Berger's a guy.
We're at the point in this thing here, Buzz, where we're like, this guy tries.
It's sickening. That's what I mean.
They should all try.
No shit.
They should all try.
I'm gonna go into work tomorrow and then here come the people hang out. You can't compare what you do to fucking no. Yes, you can. You can try. I can go into work tomorrow and not try, not log on to TMW. I told you how much I hate that shit, and not try to fucking just go sit there and do nothing or half production. And then my boss comes in. He's gonna tell me, go fuck yourself. That's what he's gonna tell me. That's what he's gonna tell me, dude.
But don't yell at the players. We don't want to.
Don't yell at the
players.
Morale. Yeah, boomer. Oh yeah, don't yell at the players. You can't do that. Get canceled in 2023.
Yeah, don't yell at these guys. It's incredible that we're here talking about some of this stuff. You would think that the tones of these shows would be a lot better. I mean, it's been so long, Buzz, since any of us have even said set the tone, because the tone here is just, it's abysmal. There's really not much more that you can say than that. I don't have much else, man. Do you have any final closing thoughts before we ride on out into the off day that I so desperately need?
No, I got nothing, dude. Just fucking go. Just do what we said. Try against Boston and see what happens. Let's see what happens here. Try against Boston. That's all I got. And I also have this. Everybody be sure to go on tapsportsnet.com for all your Chicago sports literature and podcasting needs. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel on Tap Sportsnet. We're presented by Sports Illustrated Media Group. And if you get the chance, check us out live tomorrow, right before the draft. And I think we're going to go right after the draft. We're going to see logistically how that plays out. But we're going to talk about the lack of bull movement or the Bulls movement. We'll see what happens. But that is all I have.
You got a little preview here for any of the Bulls fans around there? You think Zach LaVine is moving before tomorrow?
If we, and yes, I say we when I'm talking about our teams, if we can get a haul for LaVine, I'm talking a young player with some upside and a pick or two in the first round, I'd love that. I think they should be high lottery picks for him. I don't know if we can squeeze our way into the Portland pick, which is number 3. Does not seem like Charlotte's going to part at number 2. Looks like Michael Jordan wants to take Brandon Miller. And then there's kind of a huge drop off after 5. And not in talent, just in predictability. So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen, but no matter what happens tomorrow, the NBA draft's going to be pretty fireworkish because a lot of teams are going to be making a lot of moves, and you're going to be able to see if the Bulls stand pat and try to run it back, or if they finally commit to a rebuild, which they so desperately need. So that's my what is that called? A deck?
That's a teaser. Yeah.
That's
a deck, teaser. A teaser.
Yeah, that's my teaser.
I'll give since you've shamelessly plugged your Bulls show, I'll just let everybody know here. Also be following Four Feathers Podcast at Four Feathers Pod on Twitter. We got the NHL draft coming. I know hockey is not as big as the NBA over there, Buzz, but I have to say it. The Blackhawks' #1 overall pick is coming just about a week. Yeah, well, it's going to be Connor Bedard. I'll be down in Nashville, so you probably won't hear me on these airwaves much next week. Going down to Nashville to cover that event. So,
can I ask you something?
Yeah, go ahead.
And I know we got to get out of here, but there is no chance. I don't do hockey. It's not that I don't like hockey. I really like the video games. I just never really watch it. There's no chance they pass on that kid, right?
I don't think so.
Okay, so this is lock the fuck in. You think?
I'm pretty damn positive.
Yeah, so it's just like the NBA draft. So you know who's going number
you're
1.
You're gonna get people on Twitter who are gonna tell you, mainly fans from other teams that there's a chance, but they're just trying to rain on the parade. That is
rain on the parade of the Bedardness.
Yes.
Fuck yeah. Okay.
Yes. Absolutely.
Right.
They're gonna play games with you in your mind up until that moment. This turned into an all Chicago sports show at the end here, Buzz. But
okay.
Yeah, we'll be down in Nashville, Four Feathers Pod. There's probably going to be a draft preview show, myself and Ronald Luce over there on Four Feathers Podcast coming up here soon in the next coming days. But Buzz, we're entering draft season. We'll be back on Sunday for another series recap on Sox on Tap. Buzz, take it away, my friend.
Be sure to go on tapsportsnet.com for our Chicago sports literature and podcasting needs. Following us on Twitter at Sox on Tap and on Tap Sportsnet. One more time, please subscribe to our YouTube channel on Tap Sportsnet. YouTube will be back Sunday, like Tony said, for a Sunday fun day. White Sox forever.